Hello and welcome to our Justice League special. In this episode, we will get you ready for the release of the film. I am your host, Andy Johnson, and we'll start this special show off with the review of the previous film in the DC Universe, Wonder Woman. Molly Gardner has that review. Molly?
I'm Molly Gardner with Nerd Central. This week, I will be reviewing Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman grossed over $821 million worldwide. When we first meet Wonder Woman, she is a little girl named Diana who lives in the Mascara. Diana starts to learn her strength,
That will never be fair!
especially after she rescues pilot Steve Trevor in the Mascara is invaded by Germans. Diana and Steve end up on the front lines with the English as they fight in World War I.
This is no man's land, Diana. It means no man can cross it, all right? This battalion has been here for nearly a year, and they barely gained an inch.
Diana is armed with the God Killer sword, the lasso of truth, and her armor to find and destroy Ares, the god of war. This movie is filled with witty one-liners.
What's that?
It's a, it's a watch.
Awesome fight scenes. Some parts nobody was expecting.
In the name of all that is good in this world, I hereby complete the mission of the Amazons by ridding this world of you forever.
Let's not forget a badass female lead.
This is not what we came here to do.
No, but it's what I'm going to do.
We'll see what Diana is up to in the upcoming Justice League movie, along with Wonder Woman sequel set to be released in December of 2019. For Nerd Central, I'm Molly Gardner.
Thanks, Molly. I absolutely loved Wonder Woman. I'm glad that the universe got a kick in the pants from this film. Some big casting news hit a couple weeks ago. Zachary Levi has been cast as Shazam for his solo outing. You may recognize that name and face from the TV series Chuck, the voice of Ryder from Tangled, and Fandral from the last two Thor movies. Dwayne Johnson has already been cast in the role of Black Adam for his own solo film before Shazam and Black Adam face off. I've been watching Zach's acting career ever since watching Chuck, and I think he is one of the actors who deserves to make it big. Let's hope he can carry his own film, but being the lead of a network TV show should help. Now we're going to take it to Haley Southard for her review of Justice League Dark.
Hi, this is Haley Southard for Nerd Central, and today I will be talking about Justice League Dark. Based on a comic book series separate from the Justice League and DC, main characters in the movie include the Justice League, led by Superman and Wonder Woman, Batman in all his honor and glory, Zatanna, a powerful magician who can cast spells by speaking backwards, John Constantine, a con man, cult detective, and magician, Deadman, the ghost of an assassinated acrobat who can possess the bodies of others and bend them to his will, Swamp Thing, once a human who crash-landed, has the ability to control all plant life on Earth, and Etrigan, a demon trapped in the human body of Jason Blood by the wizard Merlin. The movie starts out with several civilians having nightmare visions of demons, resulting in many deaths and crimes. A group of heroes with magical powers band together in order to take on Destiny, a scientist gone mad with the ability to show others their worst fears, forcing them to cause destruction and chaos.
John, listen. You've been affected by magic. Get away to space now.
I enjoy this movie due to the characters and their exceptional powers, in addition to containing magic, action, excitement, and adventure. If you're like me, and you're a nerd, or you enjoy action and superheroes, then Justice League Dark is definitely a must-see. If not, you may not understand. But don't trust my opinion. Watch it and decide for yourself. That's all from me. Again, this is Haley Southard from Nerd Central. Stay nerdy.
Thanks, Haley. I haven't seen this movie, but it's great to show off different members of the Justice League team. Some more Shazam casting news. Shazam is only half of the hero. Billy Batson is the other half of the hero. Asher Angel has been cast in that role. He is a relative unknown with mostly supporting roles, but is a star of the Disney Channel show Andy Mack. The film is slated for an April 5th, 2019 release. I always liked when Hollywood cast unknowns into roles like this. You can really be able to see the actor as the character because you haven't seen them in much before. We're going to take a short break. Please stay tuned for more Nerd Central. Welcome back to Nerd Central's Justice League Special. We're going to take it straight to another installment of Mighty Morphin Madness with Zach Brown. Zach?
Welcome to the Mighty Morphin Madness Justice League Special with me, your host, Zach Brown, where we get to talk about everybody's favorite teenagers with attitude, the Power Rangers.
What do we do?
Teleport to us 5 overbearing and over-emotional humans.
No, not that, not teenagers.
That's correct, Alpha.
I was afraid of that.
In this special episode, I get to talk about the special comic book crossover with the DC Universe and the greatest team of teenage superheroes, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Justice League Power Rangers issue number 1 was released in March of 2017 by Boom Studios and is a 6-part miniseries. The first issue starts in the Power Rangers universe and in the Power Rangers home city of Angel Grove. We first see that Alpha 5 is missing and the Power Rangers go and try to find him. Zack, the Black Ranger, finds Alpha in the woods and brings him back to the command center for only Alpha 5 to be an imposter and is a bomb that damages the command center. We see Lord Zed and the Putties breach the command center and try to destroy Zordon for good. Zack tries to fight Zed off and ends up trying to teleport himself and Zed somewhere else to fight, but the teleporters are damaged by the explosion and Zack and Lord Zed get transported to another world and dimension. Zack ends up teleported to an unknown city and is still fighting the Putties but is stopped by a mysterious car, which ends up being Batman himself inside. Zack was teleported to Gotham City. The first issue ends with Batman and the Black Ranger believing each is a villain and trying to defeat each other. The other issues that have been released so far have to do with the rest of the Rangers getting to Gotham and eventually teaming up with the Justice League to defeat evil. Currently, the first 4 issues are available, but in May of this year, Boom Studios announced the cancellation of the series, and the 5th and 6th issues are going to be released in the future. So DC fans and Power Ranger fans will have to wait a little longer for the conclusion of one of the coolest team-ups in the comic book world. This has been Zach Brown with the Mighty Morphin Madness Justice League Special. Now back to Nerd Central.
Thanks, Zach. I always love when properties cross over that makes sense. When you go see Justice League, you might want to stay in your seats until the end. When talking to a BBC radio show, Jason Momoa, Aquaman in the universe, said that the audience will want to sit through the whole film. It's kind of common knowledge in a comic book film to sit through the credits to see a little tease for what's happening next in the universe. Now we're going to take it to Animate, where we talk about all things animated.
Hi, my name is Eli and welcome to Animate. This week I have Andy joining me and we are going to be creating our very own anime Suicide Squad. How this is going to work is we have the 6 original characters from Suicide Squad.
We are looking to fill the roles of leader, eye candy, the tank with a troubled past, the comic relief, the stereotype, and the character that probably died at the beginning.
Right, Andy, you're going first. Try to fill the role of leader.
Alright, so who I chose for my leader is Ash from Pokemon. Yes, he's 10 years old, so he may not be the oldest leader or anything, but He has gone through 4 or 5, maybe 6 regions in the Pokemon world, and there's over 800 Pokemon that have been discovered at this point, and he has caught them all. So now he has an army of over 700 Pokemon at his becking call, so that sounds like a pretty good leader to me.
My candidate for eye candy is Seiko from High School of the Dead. My reasoning for that is the entire show is just screaming fan service. There are about, 4 females in the show that are in the main group, but Seiko is always around in kind of skimpy outfits. She is a boss with her kendo sword, and who doesn't want to see a pretty girl going around fighting zombies with her kendo sword? If you're looking for the very definition of a tank, that is Shizo. Shizo from Durarara is amazing. He's got superhuman strength. Nothing can kill this guy. He can get stabbed, he can get hit by vehicles, and yet he can turn around and pick that vehicle up and throw it at someone. Like, he's got insane strength. And that's what I'd be looking for in a tank for my team.
So, comic relief. This character I picked, he rarely says stuff, but when he does, it's like beautiful. And that's Ferb from Phineas and Ferb. I mean, he doesn't say much, like I said before, he doesn't say much, but when he does, it's always a joke. It's always a punchline. My stereotype is Clay Bailey from Challenge Showdown. He wears a frickin' cowboy hat, and he has a southern accent to him. So obviously he's a stereotype.
Now, if you want a character that the team really doesn't need to keep functioning, who better than someone who actually dies in the beginning of the series? That's why I chose Marco from Attack on Titan. So this is who we have for our anime Suicide Squad. Replacing Deadshot as the leader, we have Ash from Pokemon. Replacing Harley Quinn as the eye candy, we've got Seiko from High School of the Dead. Replacing Diablo, we've got Shizo from Durarara. Replacing Captain Boomerang, we have Ferb from Phineas and Ferb. Replacing Killer Croc, we have Clay Bailey from Challenge Showdown. And replacing Slipknot, we have Marco from Attack on Titan. That's all we have for you this week. I want to thank Andy for being on the show.
Not a problem, happy to be here.
All right, and we're going to send you back to Nerd Central. See you next week.
Thanks, Eli. This team is definitely better than the one we got in the film. That's going to do it for this week's Nerd Central. Nerd Showdown is next. You can watch Nerd Central, Nerd Showdown, and all of our other amazing shows on the KNWT YouTube page. And follow Nerd Central on Twitter at nerd_central_TV, and follow KNWT on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Please stay tuned for Nerd Showdown.
Here come old back top, he come grooving slowly. He got juju eyeball, he one holy roller. He got.
Hello and welcome to Nerd Showdown, the part of Nerd Central where we battle it out on a particular topic we have no business debating. This week with Justice League hitting theaters, we want to settle the argument. Batman v Superman or Suicide Squad? Which is better? I'm your host, Evan Van Zandt, and with me I have two amazing fighters. To my left, fighting for Batman v Superman, we have Nerd Central producer Andy Johnson. And to my right, fighting for Suicide Squad, we have Chief Missourian reporter James Howie. The rules are simple. Both competitors will be able to make their points to the audience. After that, yours truly gets to decide who reigns supreme. Now that that's out of the way, let's show down. James, you'll get to present your case first. Your time begins now.
All right, let me start by saying first that Suicide Squad is a more enjoyable and fun movie than BVS. It's obviously shorter, it's less, grim, it's more colorful, it's more vibrant. You get solid performances from most of the main cast, Amanda Waller, Viola Davis is Amanda Waller. Jared Leto is good as the Joker for, you know, the 10 minutes he's in there. Will Smith is great as Deadshot, obviously, and so is Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. The music is good. The beginning of it I thought was really good, and towards the end and the middle is where it started to stumble. The music works well with introducing the characters. All the characters are pretty cool. They are, you know, you get to know them well. For the most part, had valuable screen time for the ones you wanted. Maybe they had too many in the squad, but for the most part, you got what you needed out of most of them. And BVS was just, like I said, too overstuffed, too much going on, and yeah, just not as fun as Suicide Squad. I mean, it's just, you know, what I have to say.
Meanwhile, in Andy's case...
There we go. So, let me just start off saying, I contend that it's actually better, mostly because of these three people right here on my desk. We finally get to see the Trinity right here. This Trinity, we finally get to see that on screen for the very first time. Say what you will about Jesse Eisenberg's character. I actually kind of like his character. Not as much as, you know, Gene Hackman and that kind of stuff, but I do like his character. Being like the spoiled rich kid that gets whatever he wants. This Batman, I think, besides probably Christian Bale, this is probably the best Batman we've ever gotten, because, you know, he's physically fit and that kind of stuff. Spoilers for anybody who saw this. Superman dying at the end, I mean, it should have carried, I'm honestly going to say it should have carried a little bit more weight, but it did carry weight to it. Like, he sacrificed himself for, you know, for Krypton, you know, for Metropolis, for Gotham, for, you know, he sacrificed it for the entire world. And I mean, I'll get to the Martha scene, but we're going to talk about the Martha scene, trust me. And I have my own point of view on that, but we'll get there. I thought, when I look at the film, I see it as the ultimate cut. Like, I see both the ultimate cut. The Ultimate Edition of Batman v Superman is miles ahead of the extended cut.
Meanwhile, back at the James argument.
Yeah, and you mentioned the Martha scene, which, you know, it's bad, but actually I'm not going to focus on that as much. The scene that I had a big problem with was the email scene. So literally, you get introduced to Aquaman, the Flash, Cyborg, and all these guys through an email that Bruce Wayne decides, you know, send Wonder Woman in this really creepy fashion. I'm just like, is that you? You know, just this weird, really goofy setting. Just didn't work at all. And that's one of the bigger problems for me with the movie, because you get halfway into that movie and you can have dividing opinions about it, but you get to that middle and like that scene comes up, it just honestly took me out of the movie. It's like, what is that? That's how they introduce it? And, you know, Jesse Eisenberg, I mean, I give him credit, he like went for it, kind of, but, you know, I mean, just feeding, you know, Jolly Ranchers to dudes through their mouths is weird. It just did not work. And, you know, and putting the kind of the Flash time travel thing in is just, you know, I mean, I got it, I'm sure you did, but like, most audiences aren't going to get that. They're going to be like, who the hell was that, you know, talking to Bruce out of nowhere? I don't know what that was. I don't get it.
Andy, your rebuttal.
All right, so since I mentioned the Martha scene, I'm going to explain that a little bit. How I see it is that Batman sees Superman as just like this alien who wants to destroy the world. But when Superman says you have to save Martha, just because they have the same name for their moms, mostly how I see it is that in his time of, you know, he's about to die, he says, save somebody else besides me. It doesn't matter that they're both the same name. I see it as him trying to save somebody else. And Batman realizes that, like, this alien that I've been trying to kill for the past 2 years, you know, he's trying to save somebody else besides himself, like in his hour of need. But besides that, Suicide Squad, your villain is terrible. The Enchantress, terrible. Amanda Waller should have, honestly, I thought Amanda Waller should have been the villain. Like, she should have been the villain. They tried I mean, they gave each character like their stats except for Slipknot. And I saw this other animated show called the animated movie called Batman Assault on Arkham, which
Fantastic
is
movie.
10 times better than the movie that we just saw. And when I saw that when I saw those lists, I'm just like, oh, Slipknot's gonna die. It's like I already knew instantly that he was gonna die.
Meanwhile, back at the Hall of Jamestis.
I'm just going to reiterate, like I said earlier, you know, people bagged on BVS for not being that much fun, too long. And Suicide Squad is funner. There's more jokes. It's more colorful, as I said before. And also, you talked about, you know, the villain, which Enchantress is bad. It's bad, but, you know, Doomsday looked like a cave troll. And second of all, like, they've already used them, so it's like they can't use them again, probably. I mean, they maybe could, but, you know, it'd be something to explain, and they could have just held that off for, you know, movies down the line. And, you know, Wonder Woman's great in it, but she's in it for, you know, a few minutes, you know, and the relationship, I think, that worked in Suicide Squad was Harley Quinn and Joker. For the little bit it was in there, I thought it worked, and that was an entertaining part of the movie. Especially at the beginning when you saw the origin, that was fantastic.
All right. Meanwhile, back at the Andy Cave.
So, how I think BVS, yes, it's long, and I'm thinking people were disappointed about it because it was overhyped, because you finally got to see Batman and Superman, and then when the trailers hit, you saw Wonder Woman. You saw them all on screen for the first time. So when I went to go see the movie, I didn't have very high hopes. You know, I just went into it like a movie. I thought it was really good, but I've now seen the light, and the Ultimate Edition's even better. So we're gonna go there. But yeah, your best relationship is like you said, Harley Quinn and Joker, but they're rarely in it. And in the extended cut, they're barely in it as well. Like they show a couple things, but that's about it. The Jesse Eisenberg, yes, it's really weird that he had a Jolly Rancher. That I'm not going to try to fight that. With Doomsday, he looks like a Ninja Turtle. That's it.
Good closing remarks. Well, that's going to do it for Nerd Showdown. This week, I've chosen James as the winner for defending his movie for being fun. I can respect that. Well, I think what we've learned here is that we're all just waiting for the live-action Spawn reboot. Northwest Sessions is next.
Oh, boy.
James, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I have a confession. I wanted to be in this, but I think BVS is actually better, so I can't believe I actually won. I mean, you know, they both have issues, but I think bottom line is we really are looking forward to Justice League, because hopefully that's good. Hopefully.
Just as a reminder, you can go to KNWT's Twitter page to show your support for this week's showdown. We'll see you next week. Stick around for Northwest Sessions.